Michel'le here. Welcome back to another video. If you are returning, of course I appreciate the continued support. However, if you are new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the little bell next to the subscribe button so you get a notification every time I post. I have a ton of content already that you can binge watch, but of course you don't want to miss out on the content to come. So we're going to jump right into the video today. It's kind of more of a chill, it's definitely obviously a sit down chit chat kind of video, as you can tell by the title, what topics we're going to dive into. But I wanted to make it a little bit more laid back. I'm kind of going to be going through these things with you, if that makes sense. So we're going to be talking about medical aesthetics versus aesthetics, but I'm saying general aesthetics so you can really see the difference in between the two. Okay, so I know a lot of you, this video is perfect if you're a beginner and you don't know which route you want to take, or you just want to know a little bit more about the differences of the two, what will work out for you, the pros, the cons, and stuff like that. I'm not gonna make this video pro and con based. It's just gonna be more about what the difference between the two are. So we're gonna talk about the definition of being a medical esthetician versus the definition of being a general esthetician. We're gonna talk about the difference in the duties, responsibilities, services that you can render under each title. And then we're going to talk about the money. So that is something that a lot of people want to know. So we'll talk about the difference in like the salaries of someone who, because it'll be a range and it does depend on your state. So remember that this is all state based. So we'll just talk about a range of what someone can make being a medical esthetician versus what someone can make being a general esthetician. And that's going to be the range, by the way, is going to apply to both my regular corporate, I should say, estheticians versus my solo-based medical estheticians or solo-based estheticians, okay? So know that this applies to you all because it'll be a range of the topics that we discussed, like I said. So pay attention. So medical estheticians are trained and licensed just like you would be as a regular esthetician or general esthetician. So that doesn't change. You both are licensed the same in the beginning as an esthetician. Don't mind my neighbor's dog and whatever else is going on outside of my door, y'all. I mean outside of my window, y'all. So being a medical esthetician just means you focus more on medical professions and services, more advanced skincare treatment. You focus on more of lasers, light-based procedures. You focus more on skin trauma, skin conditions, like really specialized skin treatments and stuff like that. Asian skin. Most medical estheticians are, the client base is more to like anti-Asian clients, more mature clients. So you focus a lot on rejuvenating the skin. You're focusing on, of course, more intense chemical peels, especially if you work in a medical setting. You're working on laser therapies, if I didn't say that already, more potent acids, just of course can go in the family of chemical peels. So more active skincare treatments and things that are more strong, more powerful, and things like that, that obviously requires a little bit more knowledge on the skin, how to use them, and things like that. Beautiful thing about that is professionals in this field rarely require like formally medical training to qualify for this role, to be a medical esthetician or be in medical aesthetics in general. So that is like a beauty if you are somebody who don't really, who is like, this journey is discouraging to you. I don't want it to feel discouraging because you rarely need whatever type of training you think you need. Like, it is the sacrifice of the time that you will need to get the accredited hours, of course, to do the initial esthetician license is a small drop in your bucket, you know. And I know you heard that expression before, so that is very true. And the amount of opportunities you can have for that small drop in your bucket sacrifice is worth it all in the end. So that's a beautiful thing, and they often work because you don't need a lot of the medical training, but you obviously do need your initial license, like I said. With this title, you will work in medical fields and medical-based settings and practices. So that's the people that you see in like dermatologist office, plastic surgeon offices, hospitals, if that hospital has like a derm, I should say, specialized office in the hospital. Because some hospitals have like skincare practices inside the hospital, you know. Sometimes they don't. Some hospitals don't have a lot of specialized stuff, but some may have them. And if someone has that in the hospital, like if that hospital has that, most of the time they need estheticians for all of the day-to-day stuff, the medical estheticians. And medical estheticians, y'all, focuses on pre-op, post-op stuff for the clients. So in the dermatologist setting, they need medical estheticians to do, like I said, most of the consultations, the walkthroughs, the initial greeting setups, room setups, just any of the like entry welcoming level type of service like that you need. So like say someone needs their face to be properly cleansed before they get a certain treatment, like before they move to the next room to go to like a laser resurfacing treatment or anything like that, whatever that may be. The role that you would play would be medical esthetician. Obviously that'll be your title, but that would be your role if that's something you choose to do. Also, you can find, like I said, this type of esthetician, medical esthetician in plastic surgeon offices, and that's because pre-op, post-op care, if the plastic surgery is, that office or that practice is heavily focused on facial structure, different surgeries dealing with like the skin physiology and face and that part of the anatomy, then most of the time they need medical estheticians in their field. Just like you would need, that's like having a nurse's assistant on bedside. So that would be the same if you guys need something to compare to. It would be the same being a medical esthetician in a medical setting, but not having any of the medical training. Now, the beautiful thing about being a medical esthetician, another thing under this topic, is you are mostly trained with or through whatever route or office you choose to take. So if you're in a derm office, they will most likely train you on the particular equipment they use, services, and all of that. Okay, so you just have to obviously have the accreditation. You have to already be licensed and things like that, and then your journey kind of goes from there. So let's talk a little bit about the salary, and then what, I guess, the schooling and what classifies you as a medical esthetician. What is the difference between a medical esthetician and a general esthetician, I should say, accolades wise. So it depends on your state. I'm in North Carolina, and North Carolina actually just newly recognizes that there is a difference between medical estheticians and general estheticians. Before, there was no medical esthetician license you could hold, or advanced esthetician license you can hold within our state. Now you can hold a medical esthetician title under the state board and versus the regular estheticians. So we have esthetician instructors, we have estheticians, or general estheticians, and now we do have medical estheticians as well. So that's a good thing. And also that just means that they approved for us to do dermaplaning under our scope of practice, because it used to only be under barbers, and that was just silly to me because, okay. And then microneedling to a certain length or depth, so it just depends, and that's all so beautiful for us estheticians here in North Carolina, because I do want to start microneedling and going more into the advanced skincare. So not only can you get this training and dermatologist office, plastic surgery office, and of course medical spas, which I know a lot of, they're booming now, so a lot of people are becoming more familiar with medical spas. And so though all of those 3 type of settings, or like I said, in the hospital, would be the route or the job you would be seeking if you are looking to be a medical esthetician. Now, once you have your esthetician license, so for you who already passed this route and you're looking to become a medical esthetician, now again, depending on what state you are in, that is what you will have to follow, obviously, of course. But where I am, you don't need an extra course, class, or more accredited hours that you have to acquire just to be a medical esthetician. The way that the board recognizes being a medical esthetician here, because I'm only speaking for here from the information that I was told and looked up, was through your continuing education. So that's pretty cool, because as an esthetician, you have to take CE, no matter what. You have to take continuing education courses, classes, little things online, just to stay up in this field, because a lot of things change in our industry. So you have to make sure you're constantly learning in this field, and that's required, especially when it comes time to renew. They can audit you, and you have to have hours showing that you do continuing education. So remember, I was saying, if you work in the medical setting, you may not need medical training, but you get continuing education courses mostly from your employer. So depending on where you go, they train you on that equipment and different, like if you never know what laser was, and they train you on laser, and now you're laser certified to use it. And most of the time, those are recognized by the board. Certain states, you have to go back to school after you become an esthetician, and you have to take something that will be called either an advanced esthetician course or a medical esthetician course. Some states call it just advanced esthetician, and some call it medical esthetician. So it just depends. Now, the difference in salary is amazing, y'all, because some places, now depending on the setting that you are in, whether that's the plastic surgery office, the dermatologist office, or the medical spa, it'll be a range, really, depending on that. And it depends on that company, that branding, like, so it just depends on their traffic and their patients and the cost of their services. But for all in all, it'll always be more. So the salary you make in medical aesthetics would be from $30,000 entry level to up to $100,000, and that's in like the Californias and the New Yorks and the, you know, states like that. So being a medical esthetician almost gives you an instant raise because obviously you're working in a setting where the services cost more. You're in a medical setting, like I said, so they're able to offer higher salaries to medical estheticians, and two, your duties are more, the risks are more, you're working with different equipment, so you get paid more being a medical esthetician. So if you're someone who wants to up your income and you're already at the stage of being licensed and you're just trying to figure out which route to go, you may want to look into medical aesthetics, because if you accept a really good offer, you instantly get a pay increase, y'all. So like I said, you can get any, and I would say the median, so what it reads now, the median, like the average of what people are getting between that 30K and 100K is $80,000. That's the median, the average. So if that's the average, you know what I mean? So yes, so let's move on to general esthetician and a little bit about that. So being a general esthetician, I really don't too much probably have to explain on this channel, because you guys already know what a general esthetician is. That's literally what you learn when you go to school. So a general esthetician is someone who is still a skincare therapist. You are trained, of course, you take the accredited hours needed for regular beauty services. General esthetician is someone who, what they call, is someone who focuses on the superficial skin concerns and superficial beauty treatments make someone feel better about themselves, of course, and the monthly or daily maintenance, beauty maintenance that someone would need. So it's not a lot of corrective. So know the difference. Mostly medical aesthetics is advanced and corrective skincare treatments and stuff, and procedures and all of that. Some non-surgical, some surgical, like I said, depending on if you're in a depending on the office that you're in. And general aesthetics is superficial, and it's maintenance skincare. So being a general esthetician, the pay typically, well, the services that you render mostly is the day spa stuff is what they call it, which is like the facials, the more of the basic facials, more of the daily waxing or body waxing, things like lashes, brow maintenance. So yeah, that's the general esthetician. You mostly see general estheticians all the time. Like I said, the wax techs, the lash techs, all of that is general esthetician, day spa type of stuff. And the salary typically for that ranges anywhere from $23,000 a year to $70,000 a year. So you can see the difference in pay, definitely from the medical esthetician salary versus the general esthetician salary. So that's something else for y'all to think about if the salary is like a big deal breaker or decision maker for you. And of course, the schooling you need to become a general esthetician is pretty much known, like I said, because you have to do this before you even become a medical esthetician. But that's finding a beauty school in your area. I recommend not going with the highest tuition, y'all. So like, I went to Aveda, and I don't regret my experience, and the brand itself, because I love Aveda, but y'all know that, and the friendships I made and everything like that. But I could have went to a much more affordable school for the same curriculum, same opportunity to take my state board, same hours, you know. Find a beauty school in your area, in your budget, get the hours you need to take state board, and then once you become licensed, then that makes you all out the gate a general esthetician, or just an esthetician in general. So you can do all of the day spa stuff. So you can do the waxing, facials, and all that right out the gate once you've finished with your hours and past state board. So that's the difference between the two. I hope that gave you guys a little bit more clarification and just help somebody along their journey. If this was something that you were thinking about, it can be kind of frustrating because sometimes it's harder to get in the medical esthetician field, and it is. It's not easy to get those type of jobs versus getting the general esthetician jobs in the day spas and the stuff like Hand and Stone, massage, and the European wax, or like those are day spa general esthetician jobs. It's harder to get those medical esthetician jobs. Yes, it is, but it is definitely worth it, as you can see in the salary. So I hope that this was a good and helpful video for you guys. Like I said, I just wanted to make it more of a discussion, chit chat with you all. Come back and see me. I have tons of videos even now that you can go and binge watch that may be helpful for you on your journey. Again, I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.